Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and this week I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be doing a mad rush respray of my mum's MGB. So guys, I've come here on a bit of a holiday slash being a slave for my mum's car, and basically, I've travelled to South Australia, which is where I grew up. Those of you who don't know your Australian geography, basically we're down the bottom in the middle of Australia, whereas I normally live in over near Sydney, which is on the east coast. Mum has had this car for a couple of years now, but it's pretty tired. It needs some love. They've started stripping it a little bit while I've been away. The job today is to finish stripping it down, replace the door skins. There's a couple of spots of rust on the bottom of the door skins that I need to repair. So we need to get stuck in and see if we can get this done, because I've only got 4 days here to try and get this thing completely stripped. It's not going to be a professional level respray. This is just going to be a quick sand back, tidy it up, fix any little minor dents and imperfections, and give it just a nice, quick and lovely respray. So let's get into it. Okay, so we've been working away at this all morning. I have my apprentices, my mum and dad are here pulling the car apart as well. Oh, these things are so stupid. I mean, it's been modified so many times over the years, and there's different size nuts and bolts that don't match, or a lot of things when they made it weren't thought out, so you can't get into places to undo things. It's, frustrating, but it's getting there. So we'll keep pulling it apart and hopefully get all of the bodywork done, or most of the bodywork done today. That's the plan. Let's keep going. Okay, I've got my list, and I've just turned up here at Super Cheap to get some bits and pieces, so let's go shopping. So as I mentioned previously, the door trims on these original doors have got a bit of rust in the bottom, and I realise it's a false economy to actually spend the time repairing them. Even though there's not a lot, it's not that expensive to get just replacement door trims. We'll see if we can just fit some nice new door trims to tidy it all up. Fingers crossed this makes it a lot easier. Okay, so I've unpacked the new door skins, and what I need to do now is get the old door skins off of the door frame. And the easiest way to do that is go around and grind around the edge, because basically the way the door skins go on, I'll get the other door skin and show you. So here's the door skin, and as you can see here, they've got this 90-degree edge on it. So basically the other sheet just sits flat in here, and this edge is folded over the top. So basically it's just folded over the edge like that. So if we grind through the top, we'll actually sort of cut the edge all the way around, peel the outer skin off, then just peel the inner skin off, the inner lip off, and we've got the door skin off, new one, goes on, fold it over, it's basically it. So let's start grinding. All right, a few spot welds later and the old door skin is off. It actually wasn't atrocious behind there, but this bottom corner, you can see it here, that's got some bubbling on the outside and that has rusted all the way through. So it's gone. I would have had to cut out and patch it and it would have ended up warping the whole door and it would have made a lot more work and it wouldn't have been as good in the end anyway. So this is out. New door skin is in. Unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest quality. There was a dent in it. So I've already just panel beated that and filed it out. So it should be pretty good there. Now, the rest of the door frame is actually in pretty good shape. I'm going to run a little bit of rust converter around on the inside edge, just so that we can neutralise the light surface rust that's there. I've given it a bit of a grind back. We'll rust convert it. We'll give it a quick spray with some anti-rust paint, and then we'll start looking at putting the new door skin on. Okay, this is all cleaned up now and I've just given it a quick spray so it shouldn't rust again anytime soon, hopefully. I know I should have masked the window up when I was grinding all this stuff. I was grinding away from the windows and yeah, it's just trying to save mum and dad some trouble when they put the thing back together again. If I leave the windows in and seal it up, they won't have to try and fit the whole thing back in again. So it's going to be much easier this way. Because I'm going to, obviously there's no way I can paint and reassemble this week, so I'm trying to make it as easy for them as possible. So we'll see how we go. All right, now it's time to start looking at putting the new door skin on. Now, as you saw, the old door skin had a few spot welds around it. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a spot welder, I'm going to use the MIG welder, but I'm going to drill some holes and use them and plug weld them up to the frame again. All right, and before I put the door skin on, I'm just going to run a quick bead of Sikaflex all around the edge where it's going to join, just so that we get a nice, good, solid seal on the door. And yeah, then we can start installing. Okay, so I've gone through and I've hammered the lip on all the way around the outside of the door. And now it's time to go through, and there's just a few little spots where I'm going to replace the spot welds that were there by plug welding it. So I've drilled a hole, I'm just going to fill that hole with weld. That's a plug weld. It's an easy way to use a MIG to replace a spot weld. So I've just got to hold these things in place and weld them up. All right, and we have one door with a door skin replaced. It's looking pretty good. There's not too many dents. There's not too much warping. Now all I have to do is put it back on the car and just double check that the gaps are all okay, because I've wrapped it around, the gaps could be out slightly. I need to just double check that it all fits and it's all good. And then that's one down. So I fitted the door back up and it fits quite nicely. The panel gaps are looking pretty reasonable. It's a little bit tight here. Yeah, I think I need to move it forward just a little bit. And this corner has tucked under just a little bit. So I'm going to get the dolly out and beat that back out again. But the rest of it is pretty good. It's a pretty good shape. It's sitting a little low here, but I think that's going to be fixed up by the catch. Just putting the catch in will lock it in just into the exact right spot. That's a bit of adjustment that can be done later. So we're looking good. All right, that's looking pretty good. This is going to do for now, so let's get on to the other door. All right, the door skin is on. I've gone around and bent over all the edges, but there's an issue I've just discovered. The door skin lines up fine on the far end and it lines up fine with the edge of the window frame and here. But these holes, for some reason, are all squished down this way too far. So this notch here, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that in the camera because it's black and it's a distance away. Let me zoom in. Okay, the issue I have is that this hole here is supposed to be back this way further. What I need to do is I need to elongate these holes and I need to elongate this hole because this square needs to be this way so that the window frame for the quarter glass can fit through. Same with this one here. So what I'm going to do is I've got my hacksaw blade and I'm just going to cut through here, fold it down. There is a rubber seal that sits along this edge anyway, so you won't see the effects, but we need to do it now. It's much easier to do it now than after it's painted. Okay, now that looks a lot better. It actually fits. I'm going to go through now and weld it all up like I did in the other one, and that should be door trim number 2 done. Okay, 2 door trims done. Time to bolt this onto the car, make sure it all lines up, and we're doing well for the day. All right, that was more work putting the actual skin on, but now it's actually lined up quite nicely straight off the gun. So doors are on. Yay! All right, that was a long first day, but I think we're catching back up the schedule again. I've got a little bit of panel beating to do. There were a couple of little dents, but I've had the slaves, mum and dad, on it sanding all day. They've been stealing all my fun. So in any case, we'll get back in it tomorrow, but at least we've got the doors repaired, replaced. I am quite happy with the progress, so all right, tomorrow we hopefully can get the panel beating done, and I need to prime it tomorrow.